All righty, here we go. 10-5, trig in area, back in chapter 8 again. As you can see, here's your definitions, your vocabulary, the center, the central angle, which is at the center here. Your radius goes from the center to your vertex, and the apothem goes down from the center to a side. So, SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over the hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over the adjacent. Over here on our picture, if we're looking from here, going straight across, this is the opposite. The hypotenuse is always across from the right angle, so this is my hypotenuse, so this would have to be the adjacent then. Area of a regular polygon is always area equals 1/2 AP, where A stands for apothem and P stands for perimeter. All right, what is the perimeter of this polygon? Because each side is 8, and I have 5 of them, so 40 centimeters, period. What is the apothem? So in order to figure out the apothem, I had to take 360 and divide it by 5, which is going to give me 72. And then this angle right here, angle XCY, then is going to be half of that, which is 36, because I took 72 and divided it by 2, which gave me 36. And so then to find the apothem, I would have to take, let's blow this part up right here, this XCY. So blowing that up, this is 36 in here. We know that going across here is, all the way across is 8, but we only went halfway, so that's 4. And I'm looking for what the apothem is. So this is going to be opposite over the adjacent, so the tangent. So the tangent of 36 is equal to opposite, which is 4 over A. And we can't have the A on the bottom, so we switch these two around. So I have 4 over the tangent of 36. And when I do this, I find out that I get 5.5. So my apothem is 5.5. What's the area of the pentagon? In order to do that, area is equal to 1/2 AP. So 1/2, my apothem is 5.5. And we found out earlier that the perimeter is 40. Again, if you forgot, it's 8 times 5. 8 for each side, and there's 5 sides. All right, so doing the multiplication here with your calculator, you get 110 centimeters squared. All right, next one, find the area of a regular octagon, 8 sides and a radius of 10. So from here to here is 10, and then that means my apothem, I'd have to look. So I don't know what this is, and I don't know what that is. Why? So 360 divided by 8, which is 45. So that means this is 22.5. So let's blow that up so you get an idea of what's going on. So this is 22.5. This is 10. This is X and this is Y, because I don't know what they are. So going straight across, this is opposite, and this is the hypotenuse, so the sine. So the sine of X, sine of 22.5, sine of 22.5 is equal to X over 10. 10 is on, the X is on the top, so if the X is up high, then you multiply. All right, so 10 times the sine of 22.5 is equal to X. And when you do that, you end up with 3.8 is equal to x. So this is 3.8. But remember, this is only halfway. So I got to multiply this by 2, and I end up with 7.6 is all the way across. So 7.6. All right, so to find out my apothem here, this is going to be cosine, so the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So the cosine of 22.5 is equal to y over 10. If the x is up high, then you multiply. So 10 times the cosine of 22.5 is going to give me y. And when I do that, I get 9.2. So 9.2 is equal to y. So now I can go and figure everything out. So A equals 1/2 AP, and 1/2 times the apothem, which is 9.2, times 7.6 times 8, because there's 8 sides. And doing the math here, you end up with 279.7 inches squared. Next page. All right, find the area of a triangle round to the nearest tenth. All right, if you look at it, there's a couple of ways you can do it. One is, this is 40 degrees, and so this would be x, if I'm looking at it. Across from here is x then, and that would give you the sine. So the sine of 40 is equal to x over 104. And so if the x is up high, then you multiply. So 104 times the sine of 40 is equal to x. So 66.8 is equal to x. And according to this, A equals 1/2 AP. Oh, 1/2 the base times height. Sorry. This is another way of looking at it. Base times height. Because I have the base and I have the height. All right, so 1/2, the base is going to be 226 times the height, which is 66.8. And doing this, you end up with 7548.4. And then there's another way that you learn, which is area is equal to 1/2 BC times the sine of A. BC stands for your sides. So 1/2, one side is 104, and the other side is 226 times the sine of A, which is 40. And doing this, you end up with 7554 meters squared. All right, here is the equation again. 1/2 BC times the sine of A. If you're given an angle, like in this one, you're given an angle and you have two sides. So area is equal to 1/2 BC times the sine of A, which is equal to 1/2 times